It feels like the weight I've been carrying is finally getting lighter. My hope for the future is beginning to emerge, and the pull of the past is starting to lose its grip. This has been one of the hardest challenges I've faced so far. It has been some of the most pain that I've ever been through. But out of the ashes, the phoenix will rise. Without the pain and suffering I've had to endure, I would not have been able to realize my true calling. As good as it felt in the moment, I needed this heartbreak to be able to show me that I was chasing comfort over my own needs. I needed this to happen to help me build the strength that I will need to build my new life. It has helped me to realize what I want and what I will never tolerate again. It has sent me on the journey that I needed to go on to discover more about myself than anything has before. It has helped me to realize the importance of family and to be able to start to rebuild the fundamental relationships that I'll need to become the person that I'm meant to be. The new journey will be long. It will, in fact, be never ending. But it is a journey that I will relish, and it will help to create the human being that I've always felt destined to become, but that I thought would always be out of reach. Every failure has led me closer towards the right path, and this has taught me more than any previous failure. Every failure has taught me more than success ever could have. Yes, life feels like it is falling apart, but once the grief clears, the path has become even more clear. I will make it. I will become who I'm meant to be. I'm on the right path, and this time I'm sticking to it. So, the last few weeks and months, I've really come to learn so much from my past failures. I've been able to look back at the last 10, maybe 20 years of my life, which has been a constant failure after failure. But now that I'm able to look back at those failures and not look at them with as much emotional attachment, I'm able to see how each and every one of those failures helped to become the stepping stone to me growing as a person. I've always, for so many years when I was in my deepest, darkest depression, always felt that I am destined for something more than the life that I had been living. I don't want to say that I'm meant to change the world or anything like that, but I've realized that my life does have a meaning, even if that meaning is not some grand vision of changing the world. But if I'm able to learn more about myself, be able to build the relationships that every human needs to have in order to not just be happy, but just to feel and be in a state of ease. In terms of the nervous system, I've always had such a highly attuned nervous system that's always been waiting for that next thing to go wrong. Where throughout the past year and particularly the past 2 months, once I've been able to really slow my life down, be able to break a lot of my old bad habits and addictions. But the way that I did manage to break through many of those addictions was not simply by stopping the substance or behavior, but rather in being able to cultivate a new sense of self, a sense of self that is happy in my own skin. And with that new sense of self came the conviction to actually be able to stop doing all the destructive things that I'd been doing in my life, where the most destructive and the most addictive one of them all was my addiction to my own negative thought patterns, which had led me to a life of misery, depression, and emptiness. And what it also kind of made me come to realize is just how out of touch our culture is to what life fundamentally should be about. That's the understanding I've come to and the belief that I've developed over many years. And I would never want to impose that belief on someone else. But a lot of the times I feel that whenever we break down everything, once we are able to let go of our ego, and once all of those aspects of self have been stripped away, I feel like it's just human nature to be, to want to be the best person that you can be, to be able to help people and help the world with no expectation of any sort of return for those efforts. And yeah, it's just been a very big journey. Each day that I'm able to quiet my mind through my meditation practice, being able to help to bring my nervous system back into alignment to what nature intended our nervous systems to be for, I've been able to just see life a lot more clearly. And before, with my negative ways of thinking, with all my other addictions, my views of life and the world had become clouded with those thought patterns that I'd held for so long. And today is the first day in a very long time that I've started to feel a sense of hope come back. I was in the best place in my life pretty much this time last year, or maybe in a month. Yeah, about this time last year. Then I thought that I was ready to be able to have a relationship and be able to handle a heartbreak if it came with that relationship, which is exactly what happened. And I was not prepared for it. I let all of my routine slip that had helped me get to that place where I'd first started to feel an underlying sense of happiness. I started to sleep in again, go to bed late. And one of the things I realized is if even if you are in a place of happiness, if you start to live as a depressed person would, you will inevitably, especially if that's become something you've become used to, fall back into a state of depression. And like I said, today is the first day I've felt hope. It's the first day that I felt that I can get back onto that path that I'd let slip through my fingers, which was the first path that I've had ever managed to make me feel happy. And also, actually looking back at this relationship and the heartbreak it caused me made me realize so many things that I actually needed to realize to be able to build the life that I want. Yes, I was for the first time starting to feel happy, but I was also taking on things that weren't contributing to my happiness. I was feeling like I need to do certain things to make an income, which now I've come to realize it's at the time it is what I thought I wanted to be doing, but now I've realized that it was just another instance of chasing the carrot dangling on the stick in front of me, if you'd say that. Where now I've realized, and not only just realized now, but it's helped me go back to one of the dreams that I began to have when I first started to embark on my first stages of my spiritual journey over 10 years ago. And without one of the worst things happening to me in my life, I would have not been able to realize this. So I'm actually really grateful to have gone through all those experiences, and it led to incredible sadness and led me back to a state of hopelessness. But I knew that time is the biggest healer. Everything gets healed in time, but if we also put things in place, we can bring that about quicker. And today, I'm feeling that that has all begun to pay off. And it's just increased my conviction to really get my life under control. Today, I'm going for my first session for embodied trauma integration. And I've realized there's so many wounds that I've been holding on to from from my childhood, but there's only so many that I can recall to memory. So hopefully today I can start to figure out the other things that had happened to me that had caused traumas that I am not able to recall to memory. And this is the start of the rest of my life, essentially. It's the start to be able to become the person that I'm meant to be, and to become that person, I need to be able to work through all of my traumas. And today is going to be that first step, and I've already got quite a good roadmap for how to eventually get there. So for the first time in a very long time, I'm feeling excited about life again. I'm excited to start diving in deeply to be able to understand my deepest self. And yeah, this is just the start. So thanks for watching, and see you again tomorrow.